Welcome to Real Flix Reviews Movie News. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston. This week's question is, favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? And our answers in a bit. And so you said
take me a little bit.
you said you wanted to start with a rant?
You know, I actually do. So I opened IMDb up today, and I was gonna just pull up the movie we were watching and just kind of have that as a back thing. And I noticed something right on there at the opening thing. It said that there's a new Planet of the Apes movie in theaters.
Yeah,
I didn't even know that had happened.
It's the this is the
War of
Planet of the Apes.
Right. So my big thing is, why are they still making these?
Well, this is the reboot of it. This is the
why?
fun.
Yeah.
Because
it's the entire prequel leading up to the Charlton Heston movie.
But I mean,
so
dear God, Dr. Zayas, these have sucked for so long.
Why are they still
Dr.
making
Zayas,
superhero movies? They make money.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
but
because
these have sucked so bad that, I mean, the Time Machine movie from '02 with Guy Pearce was more enjoyable than the last Planet of the Apes movie
minus
I watched.
Doctor Strange. Have you seen the last couple of Marvel
the
movies?
The Time Machine with Guy Pearce was like 3/4 good. It was just the last fourth of the movie that was like, what the fuck?
I actually
wait.
I agree with Ryan.
Really?
As a fan of the 1960s version of it, yeah, there were parts of it that sucked, but overall it was a decent movie considering what they were working with.
I mean, are you guys serious? I would rather watch Paycheck than that.
Would you rather watch Geely? Geely, or what the hell
No. I mean, Daredevil, Giggly, and Pearl Harbor, those are basically on par with the Planet of the Apes that they've been putting out.
Well, the sole reason they're doing it is because people will pay money for it.
Hold on. You don't like the Planet of the Apes series that they've done lately?
It's been shit.
Really?
It really has been.
I
actually tried watching I think the last one I saw came out like 2012 maybe. I'd have to look it up.
I mean, I admit that they started a little bit shaky, but I mean, now we're getting into the territory that we all want to see. We all want to see, how the apes took over the world.
No, I don't.
Pretty much what this is all for.
I really don't.
In all honesty, I
have no interest.
I've never seen the newer. I've never seen the new ones, and I've only really liked. Actually, I've seen bits and pieces of the new ones. I've only really liked the original. I didn't even like any of the original sequels.
Well, the original sequels were just the most asinine pieces of shit movies ever made, but the first one was iconic,
No,
Yeah, I mean,
the new ones just don't interest me all that much.
The first one wasn't that bad. The one that they came out with, when was the one that they rebooted it? Was it like in 04, 05?
Oh, you're talking about the one with Tim Roth as one of the apes, right?
I think so.
That was the one with Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Like 02, maybe.
Yeah, the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, that was the one with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, 2001.
Yeah, there you go.
That one wasn't bad. I mean, but that was...
come on.
That was their reboot of the original one.
But it was a direct ripoff.
The monkeys... The
that's
monkeys
why I
makeup
liked it.
Didn't look too fucking bad.
No,
but it was
I mean...
a terrible fucking movie.
But that's why I liked it. It was basically a one-for-one of the original one. From the, 1950s? 60s?
See, it's like, hey, what do I like better, a Rembrandt or a paint-by-number painting? I mean,
yeah,
come on.
But for a reboot, it was fine. But they didn't have to keep going after that. And that's what really bothered me is the fact that they're like, oh, this one made money. Let's keep going and going and going and going. Now we're in 2017, and they're still going.
See, Ryan's right, though. Most people want to see what led up to it. This is like the final one. This is what happened to the planet, how Earth became the Planet of the Apes.
But this is basically what was the beginnings of the Star Trek thing? Was that Enterprise? The one that they did? Yeah, I mean... I didn't like that show, really. It was kind of boring. But that was basically exactly what this is. This is the beginning of how we got there. And this is why they found our warp signature. Blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit.
No, it's completely different. What happened, the fact with Enterprise, there were so many different Star Trek series. Everybody got kind of sick of Star Trek. Before this, the last Planet of the Apes movie was with Mark Wahlberg. This at least wasn't put, the waters weren't as polluted.
Episode of The Simpsons.
The waters weren't as polluted as it was during the Enterprise when it was on.
Yeah, but
they definitely didn't do the Hulk thing where they just remade the Hulk 9,000 times.
Yeah.
And they decided, okay, you know what, let's go back. And I mean, look, dude, when I first watched Planet of the Apes, I'm like, well, I wonder how we got here. That's interesting.
No, I didn't think that.
You know, and it didn't need to be explained in the original Planet of the Apes, because that's not the story they were telling. But I don't give a shit necessarily if the movie was really terrible. I would still want to see, you know, like how it all went down. You know, how we fought back, how we fucked it all up.
So, okay, were you the kid that had those, you know, different story endings? Those books?
No, shit, no, like the Goosebumps? No,
not the Goosebumps
Choose
ones.
Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, the Choose Your Own Adventure books. And did you try each and every one just reading it straight through? Or did you actually just read it? He has no idea what I'm talking about.
One straight through. I do. I straight through and then just read the endings of the other ones that I didn't choose.
See, when I picked those books up, I looked at them, turned it around, read the back, and threw it away. I didn't want to bother my time with that.
Okay,
that's where I'm coming from, and that's just crap.
We're going to have to finish this rant next week.
Stupid Planet of the
So
Apes.
Wonder Woman passes $300 million at the domestic box office, which is amazing. You know, superhero movies do pretty good, but that's still pretty good for like the first, week out?
Yeah, but I think everybody thinks that this is like the first time a lead female actress was a badass.
That's true, because people don't really think.
Well, no, I mean, that's definitely not the case, but this was just a great
I don't know, they're billing it as that over the internet.
I do think, though, it's the first female superhero that I can think of that has her own standalone movie. Black Widow doesn't.
Catwoman?
That seriously doesn't count. Even Halle Berry didn't want to do that movie. So I'm not sure how well that counts. I mean,
I don't know. I could probably think about it and come up with one. They've done Wonder Woman movies, though.
Have they? Well, not live action. They've done cartoons.
Yeah, they have.
Okay.
Was it
one with Linda Carter? Because if it was probably a backdoor pilot.
Nah, that's true. That was probably a TV film.
Nev Campbell, a name we haven't heard of in a while, joins Dwayne Johnson in the movie Skyscraper. I'm kind of wondering where they dug her up from, because there's a name.
She's still alive?
Yeah, she's probably mid-40s. But it's
I
not.
figure she'd gone away or died.
But
or something.
She's not somebody that we've heard much of from the last probably at least
years.
decade and a half,
closer
maybe
to 20 years. We're in 2017. That was in the 90s.
I just kind of surprised. I have not heard of her, so it'd be interesting. Johnson's playing a former FBI hostage rescue team commander and a war veteran. Just in case his heroic credentials weren't in any doubt, who was sanguine into advising on security for giant skyscrapers, blah, 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 shenanigans.
Is this a comedy or a drama?
I'm assuming by the rate it's probably a drama.
Huh.
It sounds like it's another disaster movie, which I'm always in for, a fun disaster movie.
Has he done anything besides comedies?
Yeah. Most of his movies, I think, have been comedies.
Yeah, I think Baywatch is even a comedy, right?
Yeah. So he discovers that one of the towering buildings, seen as the tallest yet safest building in the world, is suddenly an inferno. Bingo! This is the remake of Towering Inferno. And someone is framing him for the fire. Now on the run, he has clear his name. I guess it's not Towering Inferno. Looks like it. Honestly, I'm down for it. If it's a disaster movie, I'm always in for a good disaster movie. Ryan?
You know, this... Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm always in for a good disaster movie also. I just, even late night, you know, like clearing my browser through afterwards, I'll watch most of them.
Well, this kind of sounds like something John Cena would do. Am I wrong in that? I mean, it doesn't sound like something The Rock would really do. But didn't he do the Quake one, or was that
Quake?
John Cena?
No, that was
2012.
Yeah,
San Andreas. He did.
Thank you.
San Andreas.
Was that Dwayne Johnson or The Rock?
No, it was Dwayne.
That was The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is I don't think it was supposed to be a comedy, but it was a comedy. If you actually saw how bad that movie was.
Yeah, I only wanted to watch them get destroyed. That was laugh, have a good time.
So amazing thing is,
I'll tell you what though. When it comes to The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, as he's forcing us to call him these days, I am so good with anything that dude ever wants to do because he seems like he's having more fun than anybody doing it.
Yeah. I agree with them on that. I mean, like, Baywatch was better built than the War of Planet of the Apes, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, the funniest thing is the Planet of the Apes was everywhere, mainly because I've been reading a ton of movie news. So it was out there for a while, a lot more in Cars 3.
Yeah, I didn't even know Cars 3 was out until it was already in theaters.
World War Z 2 confirms director David Fincher. Now, I actually haven't had a chance to see the first World War Z. Is this something you guys want to see?
Bad.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I have no idea why they're doing a second one. That was Brad Pitt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a poor choice there, buddy. Poor choice. But, if I was offered the role for however much money they pay you, I would do it.
Hey, the guy has alimony to pay.
That's a good point. Damn you. Anyway.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/RealFlixReviews. Do you have a movie you'd love us to do or a piece of movie news you'd love our spin on? You can also catch us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, and more. So our question is your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and mine is Running Man. Because it is hilarious. It's like American Gladiators on steroids.
I'd buy that for $1.
Wrong movie.
I know.
But it has, was it Richard Dawson?
Yeah.
And he's one of my all-time favorite game show hosts, and it's just a great movie.
That was the Feud, right?
Yeah, Family Feud. And I still want to know where that woman hid that gun, if you guys have seen the movie.
Oh, man. I'm going to throw this one at Ryan first. I want to see what Ryan's got. I think I know which one he's going to go with. But
you probably do. And it's the movie I wish I could only admit to seeing this is a quarter of the amount of times I actually have. I've probably seen this movie 100 fucking times. Just because it was just in heavy rotation when it was one of 10 VHS tapes that I had at a certain point. Regardless, True Lies. I am such a fan of that movie. Okay, him and Tom Arnold together are fucking awesome. It was the first time that he was playing a comic straight as material for what it was, and it actually landed the way it was supposed to land. A bit long in the tooth. And, Jamie Lee Curtis, Bill Pullman, or Bill Paxton rather. It was a bitchin' cast and just a cool ass movie.
You were right.
Yeah, I knew I was right. I gotta say, I'm kind of torn between two. One, because it was one of the first Arnold films I ever saw I think it was rated R.
Hercules in New York?
No. Oh, shit.
Kindergarten Cop?
No, this one is actually PG. I'm surprised.
Twins?
I have to go back to that one. I enjoy Twins just because he really played what I could see him being when he first came over here. Just this kind of lost big guy trying to find his way around the United States. And then, I really got to say, I really enjoyed Total Recall as well for what it was at the time. And, oh God, I have to look that one up. But I just remember every guy kind of 1990 going around and being like, dude, have you seen this movie? And the chick with 3 tits.
I would.
And the head scene where, he's got the fake head and it comes up and does that whole graphic. That was not done before. And it was.
I was gonna say the whole movie was mind blowing, but
it really was.
It really was though. It was such a really mind bending movie.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful movie for the time. It was great. Everything was amazing about it. Yeah. And it was a hell of a lot better than the latest remake of it.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, there wasn't a movie that surpassed it until Fifth Element as far as graphics and color and everything wise. And so for what it was like a groundbreaking film. So that one is another one for me that's like a standout Arnold film. But I mean, as far as nostalgia goes, I really love Twins. And the fact that I watched it recently and it was PG, and I'm like, dude, they just showed a centerfold of Playboy.
A PG doesn't mean what it used to.
No, it doesn't. But they showed the whole thing, and then there was like a straight out, like, I think he said fuck once or something like that, and I was just like, this is PG. Like, this wouldn't be PG anymore.
Clash of the Titans, if I remember correctly, is G or PG, the original.
Well, I think
and it's a violent movie.
Outlaw Josie Wales is PG too. And that one has a full-on rape scene where they rip the girl's top off.
What'd you say, Ryan?
Anyway.
I was trying to remember what rating Bad News Bears was.
Oh, yeah. I think that was another G or PG.
So I read something the other day that had me as close to giddy as I can never normally get.
But you were giddy, like you actually giggled?
Is it Ruben Fleischer's Venom film starring Tom Hardy as the title creature will reportedly see Carnage serving as the villain.
Yeah, but who's going to play Carnage? I heard about that they're going to bring Carnage out, and Tom Hardy's going to play Venom?
Yeah.
I have been down with that.
See, the one that worried me was who are they going to pick to play Eddie Brock, if that's the version they're picking.
Yeah, so I could see that one, because, I mean, he has a use for him.
Yeah, so I'm...
Right?
So I was totally jazzed. I mean, they have Carnage, which is not a character you've seen in any live-action movie.
No, and this one, and Carnage really wasn't in very much of the Spider-Mans except for the 90s one, if I remember right. Oh, no, there was one where he popped in on one of the, like, 3D animation ones
I know
Spider-Man.
The only thing I really watched of Spider-Man was the cartoons. I read the comic books a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Well, yeah, I didn't read the comic books either, but he was in the 90s cartoon of Spider-Man, and then there was a CG one in the late 90s, early 2000 that had Venom and Carnage as well.
And another interesting piece
wasn't as good though.
Other interesting piece of news: the studio is also reportedly considering plans for projects that would focus on Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio, but it's not clear if that will be the team up film with to do the Sinister Six. Which didn't they already do that with the last guy, Garfield?
No. They did bring in Rhino, Shocker, and someone else, but I don't think that was the Garfield one. I think it was right before him. That wasn't the Tobey Maguire though, right, Ryan?
No, it wasn't Garfield. Tobey Maguire. It
was right after Tobey Maguire. It was right before Garfield, I think.
No, because Garfield took over the mantle pretty much right after Tobey did.
Yeah, right, because it's this new kid now. It's only been the two before.
Yeah. All right, so it must have been Garfield then.
Well, unless you want to talk about the 70s. I think there was a Spider-Man TV show or something, or movie in the 70s.
Yeah, we definitely weren't talking about the 70s. Yeah.
So I did read something that I'm kind of not surprised. The new Transformers had the lowest box office opening for the series. I'm not really surprised.
I think we're done with you, Michael Bay.
See, I don't really necessarily blame this on Michael Bay. What I blame this on, and it's something we've talked about here, is sequel after sequel after sequel. I think it comes to a point where you can milk something to death, and I think this is what it is.
I was gonna say they went possibly, well, in my opinion, they went 5 movies too far. But really, as far as the fans that liked this franchise, they went 1 movie too far. They kind of lost their taste for it the last time around, and we're like, yeah, no, you burned me last time, buddy.
I think I
think this is the same fan base that keeps on going to see the Fast and Furious.
Well, it's a different fan base for Fast and Furious, but same thing. I mean, eventually they're going to try to do one more than they really should.
I think with Transformers, they should have stuck with the 3. I understood why they did the 3. I may not like 2 of them, but at least, having a trilogy makes sense. I don't know why they made the 2 or 3 other movies that they've done.
I won't even waste my time on this one.
And the Fast and the Furious... See, I didn't really like them as far as, the car stuff. It was all ridiculous.
The first one was okay.
I was a quasi-fan of Paul Walker. His character was the only one I really cared about in the series. And now that he's no longer there, I really have no reason to watch it.
Well, unfortunately, I have to say, and no disrespect to the estate of Paul Walker, I was never a real big Paul Walker fan.
I wasn't either.
Him as an actor, I thought was awful. I'm sure he was a wonderful, wonderful human being. That notwithstanding, I didn't necessarily dig him as an actor. He the terrible part of those movies. They were terrible movies in the first place. Most people that I know when it comes to Fast and Furious sort of like sport watch those movies. They'll get together with a group of guys and, hey, we're going to go watch the new fucking Fast and Furious, pretty much ironically, you know, like is that ultra sort of like lizard brain guy movie. This is like, whatever. We're just going to watch some cars, Brody some corners for an hour and a half, you know?
Yeah, that's Tokyo Drift, guys.
I don't know. I don't like those movies. I mean, I literally watched a handful of them, and they're literally the same movie. So it's definitely not, they're not made for me, obviously, because I do nothing but complain about them, which, by the way, is why I'm really not allowed to watch it with other people I know, because all I do is bitch at how bad the movie is.
I don't mind sitting there laughing at the crap.
I did post...
I mean, look, I think they know what they're doing. You know, I mean, they jumped the proverbial shark of, 10 seconds into the first fucking movie, and they just upped the ante from there every single time. So they definitely know what they're making.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, James just managed to cut himself, so it was...
No, I found a metal piece that just went right underneath my nail bed.
So I did post a couple of things to the Facebook page. They are down there a bit because we do have daily news. I posted Goodfellas cast 25 years after, Godfather reunion, and Lethal Weapon cast unites for 30th anniversary. They're all kind of cool. Get to hear a little bit of inside stories about the movie and the filmmaking. I thought you guys might enjoy that, along with Clint Eastwood talking about making a fistful of dollars.
That would be I do like that film.
As far as news, man, there's just
how deep it went.
Wow, that went pretty deep. The human pincushion strikes again.
Yeah, and aside from the Facebook page and all the other stuff, if you'd like to sponsor the show and jam bamboo underneath James's nails, you can absolutely pay for it.
You know what? I'll do $10 a pop. If you got the guts to actually jam it underneath my fingernails.
I was gonna kind of highball that a little bit, but there you go. You set the number.
Yeah, if you have the balls to actually do it, let's do this shit.
So if you really want to do it, you can contact us at our Facebook page or go to our sponsor, THEOGT.tv, that the company allows us to make Real Flix reviews. So please let us know. Let's see if there's any interesting piece of news. Hold on, it's just so much crap.
That's why I brought up Planet of the Apes.
I did see a cool Monty Python shirt I want.
I wonder how much hate mail I'm going to get for Planet of the Apes.
Honestly, I don't see you getting a lot. I mean, everybody knows what kind of Planet of the Apes is.
Nobody thought they were going to get pissed off at me over killed Nazis in Das Boot either.
Now, would they get mad if you said that about Dead Snow?
You're going to get more hate mail from... You're gonna get more hate mail from me just saying that you fucking liked the 2002 version, weirdo.
Dude, I mean, for what it was at the time, it was a decent reboot. I figured they weren't going to keep going after that. I thought they were going to do one and done. You know, I mean, no, I didn't think they were going to go for sloppy seconds or anything.
I would rather watch Howard the Duck with Leah Thompson than the 2002 version of that movie.
I have the Blu-ray for you.
Shit.
I'm not kidding.
No, I believe you. That's the problem. So,
yes, I did buy John Howard the Duck on Blu-ray, which he still hasn't accepted yet. It's at my house. I'll give it to you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, as usual, thank you for watching. Oy.